She wasn't even Egyptian. Yes, you heard that right. The most iconic queen of Egypt was of Greek descent, and what's even more shocking, she nearly lost her throne before she ever wore the crown. But what drove Cleopatra to make the most drastic, dangerous life decisions of her era? Alliances, war, seduction, betrayal? You're about to find out. Cleopatra Severman, the last pharaoh of ancient Egypt, is a figure shrouded in allure, intellect, and scandal. Her life was a wild ride of royal plots, forbidden romance, and brutal power plays. But behind the silk veils and Roman scandals were moments of desperation that forced her to chop and change everything she believed in. Cleopatra was just 18 when she became co-ruler of Egypt with her 10-year-old brother, Ptolemy the Thetan. But peace was short-lived. The royal court was a nest of vipers, full of scheming advisors, backstabbing relatives, and looming Roman influence. Banished from the palace by her own brother, Cleopatra didn't wait for fate. Instead, she made one of her boldest life changes yet, smuggling herself into Julius Caesar's quarters, rolled up in a rug. That move not only restored her crown, but bound her fate to Rome forever. But was this cunning or desperation? Her alliance with Caesar secured her power, but it also birthed a son, Caesarion, whom she claimed as heir to both Egypt and Rome. But then, Caesar was assassinated. Once again, Cleopatra was vulnerable. Enter Mark Antony, another drastic decision, another Roman general. Cleopatra aligned with him not just politically, but romantically. The two would rule the Eastern Mediterranean like gods, or so they thought. They threw lavish feasts, issued joint decrees, and even declared Caesarion the rightful heir to Julius Caesar. Rome didn't take kindly to that. Octavian, soon to be Augustus Caesar, declared war. Cleopatra and Antony were now enemies of the Roman Empire. But Cleopatra wasn't just a temptress in love. She was a strategist, a naval commander, and a ruler in her own right. She ordered the construction of an enormous fleet, minted her own coins with her face beside Antony's, and tried to form alliances with neighboring Eastern kingdoms. But one of her most drastic internal changes? She adopted Egyptian customs fully, even presenting herself as the reincarnation of the goddess Isis. This wasn't mere showmanship. It was a calculated move to secure the loyalty of her people and position herself as a divine leader above human politics. Then came the Battle of Actium in 31 BCE. Antony and Cleopatra's combined forces met Octavian's navy in a pivotal clash. But something went wrong. Maybe betrayal, maybe miscommunication. Mid-battle, Cleopatra's ship turned away. Antony, confused and loyal, followed her. Their fleet collapsed. The dream was dead. The couple fled back to Egypt, but Octavian followed swiftly. With their empire in ruins, Antony fell on his sword in despair. Cleopatra, realizing her world had shattered, retreated to her mausoleum and prepared for her final act. In one last drastic decision, she chose death over disgrace, possibly by the bite of an asp, though no one knows for sure. One thing is certain, she died as she lived, on her own terms. But Cleopatra's story didn't end in death. Rome tried to erase her, destroying statues, records, and burning scrolls tied to her reign. But her legend refused to die. From Shakespeare to Hollywood, she's been reimagined as a seductress, a villain, a queen, a goddess. But behind the myths was a real woman who made choices few dared to, risking love, war, and her life to protect her throne, her people, and her legacy. And what about Caesarion? Octavian had him executed. "Too many Caesars is too much," he allegedly said. With his death, 3,000 years of pharaonic rule came to a tragic end. Cleopatra's life was defined by shocking, bold decisions. Some led to glory, others to ruin, but all carved her name into the stone of history. In a man's world, she ruled like a queen and fell like an empress. Do you think Cleopatra was a master manipulator or a misunderstood ruler making the best of a brutal world? Let us know in the comments. Hit the like button, subscribe, and watch our next video. Turn on notifications to uncover more hidden truths from the ancient world.